Alright, working on the Mercedes again, and we're going to do fuel lines, fuel filters, and run Diesel Purge through it. So I've got some fuel line here, again left over from the C10 when I replaced rubber fuel lines on it. I've got a couple different sizes here. We'll see what we need. We are going to undo from there, and yeah, we'll figure it out. Run some temporary lines probably. I don't know if we'll go over straight into here or we'll pour it in that jar. Maybe pour it in that jar, and as it uses it up, pour a little more Diesel Purge in there. But because we're going to need to recirculate as well. And a box of filters. We've got the smaller fuel filter here, the spin on here, and we've got an oil filter. We've got air cleaner mounts to fix that, and I have not opened that up to see. I'm sure it probably needs an air filter, so but I have not ordered one yet. So let's see what I think. We're going to start off by undoing the clamp down at the on the pre-filter where it goes into the primer. We'll undo it there, and well, what we may do, undo it here and see if we can get this line down in the jar. Set the jar down in here maybe. We'll see. We've got plenty of fuel filled. Actually, no, we're going to make it easier. We're going to undo it there, and at the primer, and then we're going to undo this clamp here. We'll take this hose and circle it back over to here to plug that, and we're going to hook up another hose up to the return, and we'll use some excess fuel line and get it over here. And I don't know why they did this. They call this a cigar shaped hose. I'm not sure why they do that, but it actually looks okay. It's got a little bit of cracking in it. I might do some research on that and see why they did that, if there's a purpose to it. It looks like both ends are the same size, so it's not like it reduces down to a different size or something, but it's a weird looking hose. So I might do some research on that and decide what we want to do there. The rest of these lines actually look pretty good. The injector return lines look fine, and the one coming from the injection pump looks okay. So I think, and we've got a few, they all look okay, so we'll probably leave them alone and just worry with possibly this one, but I'm not sure. We'll see what it looks like once I get it off, but definitely this one because it is wet with diesel. So let's get busy. So this is what we've got. Got this clear jar so we can see what it looks like. The diesel that was in it was actually clear. I was worried he had been running motor oil through it, which I kind of plan on doing that, but I'm going to filter it really well before I do it. And I've just plugged the inlet into the return just to keep the fuel from siphoning out of the tank. And like I said, the diesel that was in it looked pretty good. And I've got this line, new line over there, and I hooked up a line. This is actually a smaller line than it should be, so it fits real tight here, so that should work fine for the return. There's no pressure on this, it's just going to feed it back into the jar. So I don't think we need a clamp on there. That's not coming off. And we've got the inlet going all the way down to the bottom of the jar, and we just need to prime this up. We got it primed up. It's going back into the return. So let's start it up. Show where you can see. Get you where you can see a little better. I think that's pretty good. You can see just a little bit of the jar over there. Get this out of the way. And let's crank it up. And since it has that oil leak, I've been keeping a good check on the oil level. Keeping an eye on the oil level. It's already sounding like it's getting a little better throttle response. We're going to let that run through. It's going to take it a while, and then we'll see how it's doing afterwards. looking pretty dirty. Not super dirty though. It's not like black, it's just darker. Out. It's getting down to almost nothing. Not too bad. This is only one can. Maybe I should have run more than one can through it. It's so bright out here, I don't know if you can see. But not too bad. Definitely got a little bit of color to it, but not black or anything. There we go. See better now. So, let me get these fuel lines cut to size. Actually, I think before I do that, before I get the fuel lines in the way, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Like I said, that was tight. Get a screwdriver and help me pull that off. But we'll get that off. Cut this to fit the filter and all that kind of stuff. Go ahead and replace this filter, and then we'll get it back together. So we're doing the fuel lines, or the fuel lines and the fuel filter. I'm using a 15/16. I'm sure it's metric, but it fits good. And it was easier to find than a metric. I'm sure this fuel filter has not been changed in a very long time. Let me get well, we'll use that jar we have the Diesel Purge in. Purelator. Man, I wish I had a date on it. Well, it was made in China 12 of 2006. So I'm gonna guess it's been on there, I bet 8 years. I'm just guessing. Yeah, I bet the filter's probably a few years old. That's what the diesel looks like. It was in it. Black. You cannot see through that at all. So maybe that was some of what the Diesel Purge cleared out. But we've got a new filter. So I'm actually going to lubricate the top of the gasket with a little bit of diesel. Just like you would oil on an oil filter. And then I'm going to go get a can of diesel and pre-fill this filter. Trying to decide if I do that or if I just use the primer bulb. I'll go see if I have some diesel. If I do, I'll go ahead and do it. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we can let it siphon out of the tank. I'm not sure I have any diesel. We just put some in the tractor. We just filled the tractor up, so I think we used the rest of our diesel to fill the tractor up. We get this fuel filter down low, and we should be able to siphon fuel out. It's actually wanting to come out of the top line. Trying to undo this other clamp. Should find a smaller, shorter screwdriver, I think. Oh, I got it. What are y'all looking at? Y'all are not looking at anything good. Yep, we're siphoning into the filter, or the tank is siphoning. So we're filling our filter up with diesel. I don't remember to take a marker and write on this filter when I changed it. But we want to pre-fill this filter, so we have to use the primer less, because we're going to need to get all the air out of the system before we start it back up. I'll show you what I'm doing. See down in there, the fuel is just siphoning out of the tank, so we're using that to fill our filter. Let me do that and I'll screw this filter on. Alright, it's about the best routing I could come up with on the fuel line. Just not a real good It's not touching anything. There's pretty much no way to do it other than having a little curl in it. So it's got one in it. I went ahead and replaced that cigar line. I could bend it and get some cracks in it. These clamps are a little bit, that cigar line was thicker around. So these clamps, they are tightening down on it, but I probably need to pick up a little bit smaller clamps. I don't think they could be a little bit tighter. I don't think they're going to leak, but I'm going to get some different clamps for it. But other than that, the rest of it's hooked up. Got a new fuel filter there, the pre-filter, and then the spin-on filter. So we are in good shape. Now let's start it up. Let it run back onto the tank again. Starts nice. Video before, but it does seem to be running. This engine's pretty smooth.